Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Matt's Mechanics, and today we're going to talk about my favorite off-road mods. Now, these mods can apply to your RZR, or it can apply to your Can-Am Maverick or other UTV. It can also apply to your Jeep, or your minivan if you really want to. A lot of these mods are budget-friendly, functional, and they look good, so let's get started. First off is lighting. Lighting is extremely important on the trail. It gets dark quick in the mountains, especially here in Colorado. Sun sets behind the mountains, you're in the trees, and then bam, you're sitting in pitch black. Now I opted for putting an 18-inch light bar on top with two pod lights on either side, or with a pod light on either side for two total. This doesn't draw too much amperage through the vehicle's stator, and then still provides plenty of light, especially when combined with the vehicle's own headlights. Now, you might need to use more lighting for your needs. Like if you have a Jeep or a bigger vehicle, I'd probably go with like a 30-inch light bar, something that really fills out the space. But again, you do want to consider how much power it's drawing and what that can do. Next up is rock sliders. If you're serious about your off-roading, you definitely need rock sliders on your vehicle. You will be doing some slight teeter-tottering, especially if your clearance isn't all that high. Rock sliders will save your frame, doors, and other things. So, yeah, definitely not just a thing that you want on your ATV or UTV. You want them on your truck, your minivan, for sure. These ones were pretty cheap. You guys know I like to do a lot of my shopping off of Amazon. So a lot of these mods that I have on here, I did find off of Amazon, and they were about half the price of what they would have been from the manufacturer itself. So next up is a winch. Again, if you're serious about off-roading, you're gonna need a winch. All it takes is one tire, especially in your minivan, not getting traction, and then you're stuck in a bad spot. Winch will just kind of help you in those tight situations, or when you're making a U-turn that you shouldn't be. That's about the only time I've had to use this, but my other vehicles definitely had to winch up some steep slopes where you're teeter-tottering, and even with lock differentials, you weren't going anywhere. So they're also very helpful in recovery. Like if your friend put himself over on the side, having a winch is really quite handy in getting him back over. Next up is a roof rack. Roof rack will help you carry any extra survival gear or trail sodas that you might need. Again, it's a little bit more cost efficient than some of the other options out there, like putting a full-blown refrigerator in your vehicle or something like that. And then on my roof rack, I always keep my traction boards up there as well. Traction boards, if you don't know, go underneath the tires in times of tough terrain like sand, mud, or snow, where the tires will just keep on spinning. Those traction boards will sit underneath the tires and give you just a little bit more grip to get you out of that tight space, or that rough space. Next up is an off-road jack. An off-road jack and a tire, the two kind of go together, don't they? I prefer having a full-size spare tire and an off-road jack with me at all times, just because I'm not worried about stuff puncturing my tire. I have a tire patch kit for that. I'm worried about something destroying my sidewall or the rim itself. In that situation, you're not going to be able to patch that. The only thing that's going to save you is a full-size spare. So again, we're talking about serious off-roading. I want to be able to take care of myself, and no matter what situation is out there, because tow trucks when you're on a trail are really expensive. So spend it once, and you'll save your money if you ever do get in that situation. Then you won't have to pay for the tow. Lastly, I have some stuff strapped up underneath here. We have a shovel, so you can dig yourself out of tough situations, or if you have to take a poop on the trail, shovel is a necessary. First aid kit, in case you hurt yourself while digging or taking that poop, or anything else you do on the trail. First aid kit, comes in handy. Is that a fire extinguisher? These things are plastic, and usually a lot of other off-road vehicles kind of have some off-road. A lot of other off-road vehicles have some type of flammable aspect to them, so it's Usually important to keep a fire extinguisher handy with you in case anything does go up in flames, or if you're having a campfire and it gets a little out of control. Also kind of handy to have out while you're out there. So last thing is a spare fuel tank or fuel canister. The manual on most side-by-sides says don't carry spare fuel with you or outside of the fuel tank. I don't really care. It's better to be safe than sorry. All it takes is you making one wrong turn and you're lost in the middle of the woods, and that extra 2 gallons of fuel that you kept with you is what makes it so you can get back to home. So I do like carrying that with me. I think that's about it. That's about all the off-road mods I have on here. Let me know what you guys think, or if you guys would add anything to off-road essentials. Other than that, my name is Matt. This is Matt's Mechanics. Have a great day.